Hey guys, back again. I want to talk about Upgrade, the movie that just came out yesterday, that is Blumhouse's newest film, or Blumhouse Tilt, I guess is the subsidiary of Blumhouse, where it's like, it's not horror, because it's like how Whiplash was distributed by Blumhouse, but I think that was Blumhouse Tilt too. I'm assuming, because that's not a horror movie either. But this is the newest Blumhouse movie, and despite if it's a horror movie or not, or if it's a good movie or a bad movie, I really enjoy Blumhouse's films, whether they're good or bad. Even that really bad movie, Truth or Dare, that came out like a couple months ago, that was really bad, but it was entertainingly bad, for me personally. A lot of people thought it was just bad, but in terms of Blumhouse, like, I can watch pretty much anything they put out, whether it's good or bad. And going into this movie, I literally am so thankful that I did not see any trailers for this movie, because the way that after I talked about this movie online to people, they were saying how this trailer was for this movie was really like generic and cliched, and I could see from the movie's point that it does have things that could be considered generic or cliche, but Leigh Whannell, who writes and directs this movie, does a fantastic job of making this movie stand on its own. It's very much a style over substance movie, though. It's not one that's going to be like the most complex movie. It's not going to be one that's the best written. But in terms of creativity and in terms of uniqueness, this is one of the best movies I've seen all year so far. Like, this is incredible. And like I said, I don't think it's like the best made, but like, it is an incredibly beautiful, interesting movie. Like, it's just a very enjoyable piece that Leigh Whannell has brought out, and I thought that he did a fantastic job with making this film just stand out, like I said, from these other movies with this plot, which I will not get into. I will not mention the plot at all. This is spoiler free. I'm not going to say anything about this because I really want you guys to go in clean. I want you to see, like, the way I saw it, where I didn't see literally any trailers, and I'm glad I didn't, because like I said, I heard it was cliched in the trailers. So, going into this movie, I was just thinking, okay, this will be interesting because it's Blumhouse's newest movie. It doesn't mean it'll be great or good or bad, but going into it, I thought it'll be probably fine, but as I was watching this movie, every minute of this movie, I felt like, this is creative, this is fun, this is unique. Like, it never had a point to me where, even though it does have a plot that is quote-unquote generic, I feel like I said, Leigh Whannell does a good job of making this stand out from the other ones, these other type of movies with this kind of plot. And Logan Marshall Green, who is an actor who I think I've seen in stuff, but I don't remember anything in particular that he's been in, but he is really great as the main character in this movie. He really has a lot of, like, different ways that he has to perform in this movie, and trying to keep it discreet, but like, he really has a lot of things that he has to do to where he doesn't just play the same character the whole movie. Like, it's really interesting the way that he's perceived in this movie as character. And this actor is really good, and I thought that he really stood out for an actor that I don't remember seeing him in much in anything else. And the one thing I thought was really funny, though, and this is kind of off topic, but this actor, Logan Marshall Green, looks in this movie exactly like Tom Hardy. Like, it's not even, like, he looks like he's his brother. Like, it's that close. And I was distracted by that through the whole movie. And that's not the movie's fault or the actor's fault. It's just, I kept thinking in my head, this looks like Tom Hardy. It looks just like this actor. But I have things with other actors, like, with the same kind of thing, so that's not like a complaint, but I just wanted to point that out, that he looks exactly like freaking Tom Hardy in this movie, and it's so weird. It's just kind of like a weird deja vu kind of thing, watching it. And like I said, he did a fantastic job. In terms of just the visuals, and in terms of making this movie something that stands out, is because of the unique things they do with, like, robotics. Like, this is a futuristic movie, and it does a lot of things that make it different in terms of how technology is utilized in this movie, how these characters interact with it, and I think that it just does an interesting job of making all this world really unique and interesting, and it really, really surprised the hell out of me. I really enjoyed this movie, and I think that this is not the best movie of the year for me, but in terms of creativity, in terms of score, in terms of uniqueness, like, this is one of the best that I've seen so far. And Leigh Whannell, who I've never, like, loved, like, he's a good writer for the most part, but, like, I've never, like, had anything that wowed me about his stuff. And I know he's written Saw and stuff, but, like, I just never have... And I need to watch some more of his stuff again to really feel like I've formulated an opinion, because maybe I was too young to think, like, oh, it doesn't... I mean, I wasn't even thinking about the writing or the directing or the acting from him. So that might be the reason why, and I should probably just rewatch some of his stuff again. But in terms of just writing and directing, this guy did a really, really solid job. Just an incredibly entertaining movie that completely surprised me. And I'm really glad that I got to see it without knowing anything about it. No trailers or anything. Because that's a very rare occasion these days for me personally. I'm surprised I didn't see this in any of the movies I saw in theaters, because there's so many times I've been to the theaters to see all these movies, and I feel like I would have seen a trailer at least once. But nope, nothing. So that's awesome. Just a very rare occasion. But this is a very rare movie. Very rare, entertaining movie from Leigh Whannell. And I thought this was one of the coolest, most entertaining movies of the year. And overall, I just really, really loved it.